Or let's turn down the hardradio.com here and show you what I've done. All right, so top coat is on the front bodywork. This thing's a lot different here this time as opposed to what I did for the upper side pods and the rear bodywork, and results are way better, way better. Like I can't describe it, and I'm sure this is not doing any justice. I still do have some some junk underneath the paint, and I do have some inclusions over here. I think there's a hair down here somewhere, and there's some dust around this section right here. But you look around, and it's like I'm painting in a garage that's dusty. It's full of stuff, and this is my ventilation system. It's basically a window at the front which I crack open, and actually here I'll show you something kind of neat. I mean, this is nothing groundbreaking, but you get over here to the extraction fan and turn down the fan, and that blind there goes limp. Turn it back on, pops open. So we know we got good positive flow through the shop. Unfortunately, when I cracked that window open a little bit more to get rid of some, to move the fumes out, I unfortunately caused some dust to get kicked up. Whatever. Another thing I could have done was wet the floor down. That's a good way for dust control. I did a really good cleaning here with a leaf blower prior, just to get as much dust out as I could. Otherwise, I'll get into what I did differently this time. Let's start out with a bit of a train wreck over here. I used the certified thinner as opposed to just some generic fast reducer, which is mainly acetone, and this stuff's mainly MEK. So it's going to hang around a little bit longer than MEK. And it's going to give you that nice flow out that I've achieved here in, I guess, some, but not all locations. So I got good flow out, pretty good self-leveling. The orange peel is like way down. It's crazy. So definitely, I think I hit the sweet spot with the way I did things. All right. So what I did was I actually mixed up 2 batches of paint, and the first batch I thinned out to the maximum. They say to use that thinner. So go back over here to the screen. This is IS213. I guess it's the Dephthane version of this product here. Anyway, you read that. It says the amount to be added is limited by local VOC regulations, not to exceed 1 point per mixed gallon. So that's 12.5% by volume. So 3 ounces of that to get the max thinning. And I used some Super Kick accelerator, because this stuff is basically meant to paint an entire airplane. So you're going to want this stuff to stay alive and will flow out, once you start spraying to all the way when you're done. And I think this stuff is actually kind of meant for electrostatic spray systems. So it goes on pretty thick if you don't thin it. So anyway, max amount of thinner, max amount of accelerator, did the tack coat. I dialed down the gun probably about... let's call it, I took probably about an 1/8 to 1/4 of the capacity out of the flow on the gun, and I turned down the pressure, and I did a dry tack coat, and I let that flash for about half an hour, and it actually dried pretty good to the point where it would, it would hold a fingerprint, but you wouldn't wipe anything off. And then I went back and I sprayed the balance of that. I only mixed about 24 ounces of paint, but for the second and third coats, I actually went higher on the thinner, because basically they're saying it's limited by VOC regulations. It's not really like, hey, do this and do that and you'll get exactly this product. You're kind of on your own. And the accelerator they recommend, it's not that one. That's a generic automotive accelerator for your urethane top coats and base clears. And what they're telling you is, like, use accelerator to suit your production schedule. Not necessarily, they're not giving you the exact blueprint. They're saying you're on your own. So I played around with it, and it worked out really well. Anyway, yeah, super happy with it. Obviously, I can't really make much commentary to my inclusions here. You can see that kind of dust of blue on there, and I'm only as good as the shop is going to allow me to be with regard to dust control and flow. But with regard to the gloss, the color, pretty much don't have any runs. I think I got a run here too, but I actually did find quite a bit of runs in the primer the night before. So I did primer yesterday, and I blocked it, and the documentation says between 2 and 72 hours of spraying your primer, you can put top coat right on top without having to abrade the surface. So that's where we're at. Really happy with the results. I'd like to redo the upper side pods and the rear engine cover, because I took a lot more care in doing pinholes in the front here. Still didn't get them all, but you know what, whatever. Good from far, far from good, and that's kind of the name of the game. And otherwise, that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, one last little tip here. Duct tape shoes, man. Put that on there so you don't get overspray all over your shoes. I already wrecked a pair of shoes. I learned this trick from a guy in Saskatchewan, taught me how to paint a L'Orange. He also kind of introduced me to fresh air breathing systems. There's my hose. My pump's outside pumping away. And I guess the other thing is you know, wear your PPE. This stuff is urethanes are nasty. Diisocyanate and hexamethylene isocyanate is will enter your body through its mucous membrane, so you definitely want to protect yourself. And I'm wearing a full Loser Cruiser suit here. It's Tyvek or Tyvar or something like that, and the duct tape belt and the duct tape shoes. Otherwise, that's the result. Thanks for watching.